How does it encourage or engender confidence that there is really attempt to restore peace?
That's the beauty of democracy. Sometimes it becomes so difficult to appreciate the the settlements and effects of mediation. But I think this one, this very one, Governor Wike didn't get it right.
I have to draw separate
I am very saddened by these remarks. I'm very saddened by this information. I feel very bothered. Our democracy should not get too personal. We shouldn't get to the point whereby if somebody disagrees with you, you go all out against him and his businesses. It's unfair. It's unfortunate. This is one action. If we trace it to Governor Wiki, I would say it's very bad. But give it that to me. I'll hear from the other side later. But for me, the PDP has no right to be at war with itself. There's a government that has failed. There's a government that is failing. We need to put ourselves together to be able to take this government out of the system. Nobody should encourage anybody to say, how about your house is not in order? You have a right to be angry, Governor Wiki. You have a right to feel bad about a few things. But please remember that you came through the mandate and there were people that supported you. All of us said it was your returning officer. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
And so just be kind enough for the truth. As a mediator, I said clearly, this is wrong.
the impunity of the Nigerian political class has become very sinful. Wike is a man that I used to have a lot of respect for, but his post PDP convention activities and behavior is beginning to show him as a man that is having diminishing respect. My brother here said, if it is true that the governor authorized it, but of course, Igwe himself has confirmed that the CI, the policemen, attached to the governor that takes direct instruction and directives from him and the chief security officer, were the ones that invaded this petrol station and shut the place down. Now, this also evokes a second leg of the argument. You got people who say that Nigeria is not right for state police. These are the kinds of situations that gets people to be apprehensive that if governors are allowed to to control state police forces, they are likely going to use it to hunt down their passive political foes and all of that. So these are the examples. And for Wike, I think that he has to be very, very careful because he has risen to a very influential position in the life of in the national life of Nigeria. A lot of people respect him across different states. So the way he's carry on, if he does not backpedal at some point, if he does not see reason at some point, I also foresee a situation where he himself will use his own hand to destroy his own reputation. And at the end of the day, there will be no hiding place for him. He has to be really, really very careful. He has to exercise tremendous caution in the way he handles the affairs of state. He must be able to separate, his official work from personal grievances. You win some, you lose some. I would have preferred that even himself he wins the PDP ticket. But, and then he promised during the convention that whoever wins it is going to support the person and he was going to remain a loyal party. I'm not a politician. I'm not interested in the dirty political behavior of Nigerian politicians. They lack ideology, they lack focus, they lack consistency. I'm happy when Igwe said he has been a member of the PDP since 1998. The PDP came have a life of itself in 1999 when it won power at the national level through former President Olusegun Obasanjo. And how was the PDP? How did the opposition kick PDP out of power? It is because of these internal wranglings and the inability of the party itself to aggregate all its forces and be able to push ahead and show to Nigerians that it's a party that can be continuously trusted. Now, with the APC failing, as he rightly said, the APC has failed. Nigerians thought that, okay, the PDP would have learned his lesson and were able to put his ass together. But people like Wike are beginning to also show that the PDP as a political party cannot be trusted. going forward. And this country is in dire strait. Nigeria needs a healing balm. They need somebody who is calm, who is cool-headed, but firm, with purpose, to be able to deal with the situation and address all the national grievances that we have and stabilize the economy of this country, stabilize the issues of insecurity, create jobs for teeming Nigerian youth, stabilize the educational sector, provide the health facilities, and build infrastructure and put Nigeria at a competitive level to be able to compete with the rest of the world. But as it is, with the internal wrangling that the PDP is also putting on, thankfully, there is a third force. Labour Party is there, other party, NNP and others are there. Nigerians are watching. And that is why if care is not taken in 2023, these so-called big parties may just be shocked with a bloody nose. Nigerians might decide to revolt against them with their ballots. Because if you do not behave yourself, people are also very worried that we cannot continue on this trajectory in 2023. So, and if people like Wike, who are the big influencers within the within the PDP political environment, continues to behave the way they are behaving, then we have my own suspicion that perhaps himself also want to remain in the PDP to help to destroy the party before he bears his true nature, what he really wants. Because having lost out from winning the presidential ticket and of course also losing out, becoming the vice presidential candidate, he has thrown all caution to the wind. If I have access to, I will tell him. I do not mince words. He has thrown all caution. If he has remained very quiet, look at people like Amechi. Amechi was also touted. He was promised, he was promised purely that was going to become the presidential candidate of the APC, and they were told to resign. People like him resigned. The Minister of State for Education resigned. Many of them threw the towel, and today they are in the cold. And that is why he has kept quiet. He has not been fighting the APC or roughing the waters for everybody. And I think that Wike should be very careful. He has become very influential, respected by many Nigerians, but people are also becoming very disillusioned with his behavior.
Maybe we need to get our friends who are joining us virtually online to share their thoughts. Obi Oji, you heard Honorable Chinyere Igwe on the development in Rivers State. Maybe in one breath, the PDP is trying to make peace. In another breath, they are also pulling the sword. What's your take?
Sometimes when you look at what is going on in Nigeria, what happened in Nigeria, you will be like, is this a republic, a banana republic? Nigeria is a place whereby if you are rich and you have money and you see somebody, you didn't do anything to you, just go to police station, give him police money, he will lock him up for 2 weeks, 1 month. I've seen it happen. And I have to take angry against the person and fight the person because he think he has money. It's only in Nigeria. I think we have done this a couple of years ago and demolished somebody's hotel with allegation that the same thing. Because I believe these people, that guy and this honorable, they are all in the same group. They are together working with Wike. Maybe this time around, they don't support Atiku or they support what Atiku is doing. They are not in the bed with Wike now. He is using his power to go after those people. Remember, I told you a couple of weeks ago, whatever Wike got, that's what he deserves. Because Wike will be in River State and be financing another state election to make sure his own people get involved. Now, my question there that I want to ask the Honorable is, don't they have justice? Or I know, sorry, let me take it back. The whole issue on this situation is because the Justice Department is corrupt from the federal to the state. Because such thing, even here in America, such thing is going on right now as we speak in the United States. The Justice Department cook up a story and go and they raid Donald Trump house. It's almost the same thing, but America is doing it in a professional way. At least they got a warrant from judge. But what right does he deserve to do such thing? Because apparently the one he did before, Nobody said nothing, or he didn't get any consequence when he demolished somebody's property. It has become a pattern. I am also stand to be corrected. Okorocha did the same thing in Imo State. That at the end of the day, the person took him to court, won the case, and Okorocha also refused to pay whatever was awarded to the man that lead to the I think strike of Nupeng, the trailer something of the filling station sometime in Owerri. So when you look at all these things, it's a power struggle right now. Wike is going after, and somebody that love him need to tell him to stop. Like your guest says that other people resign ministry position, run, and they lose. They were okay. He should relax and wait for next time. This thing he's doing is it will end up hurting him, because if you look at the way this honorable is talking, he knows something is backing him up. He is calm. He's not even acting like somebody that his property was seized. You understand? He's calm. He has a plan B. I have read his movement. They're already planning for a week, but he don't know. He need to calm down and relax. Like this is not. And secondly, how can a governor? I know he says some police officers are assigned to the governor. Does it mean that IG cannot still record those people? Or if such thing is happening in River State and the commissioner now knew about it, can the commissioner call the IG and say and complain and say, look, our forces are being using on illegal activities, or our forces are using to fight a political party battle, something like that, But the way he's behaving, they have their own plan. I'm guarantee you that you will hear it in future, because the man is so calm. He's not even acting that anything happened to him. This is part of his income. So we should relax and stop harassing his own people.
Obinna Okpokwasili. Obinna, where are you calling us from? Where are you joining from?
Yes, I'm joining. Good day. I'm joining from Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
Good day, Victor. Yes. Thank you for the opportunity again. So it's I don't know what to say, because we've not had the other side, but I think it's a pattern. It's a pattern to use the police command attached to government house to go after maybe perceived political enemies or foes. Because I've seen that in I think recently with was it this guy, is it Dagogo or somebody like that was running, was a House of Reps member, So I think if the governor wants to implement certain maybe executive order or something regarding certain state policies, then there should be something like a task force, maybe made up of the police, civil defense. It should have a legitimate setup, not one attached. The police attached to government houses to protect the governors and his family and visitors, not to go after. I don't think that's the responsibility of the police command attached to government house. So I feel like, because that's the command that the governor has control over, he is kind of his what he uses. So, and again too, I know I think the previous someone in your studio mentioned, I don't understand why the opposition to PDP is itself, because you're trying to muzzle out or use to close down resources or avenues for resources that would empower your party. So to me, the way that they are going to score their own goal. Like, it's going to be them that will make themselves not to lose. So I feel like they need to come. They need to, if Wike says, "Oh, I love PDP and everything," and you've put in all the efforts for the party to go this far, then I believe that every effort should be made to sustain it. If there are any issues you have personally, I believe it shouldn't even be something that we should hear about. Because you keep on publicizing the rift, then people get tired. By the time you settle, I don't think you'll be able to get the damage will be done. You won't be able to get as much support as you would have gotten if all this rift wasn't going on. Because as you're going back and forth, it's damaging. Is taking out something, you know. So I don't know. I begin to get tired of every day when they have when there is a move to settle the problem. Right after that move, one thing would or action would be taken to frustrate it, especially from the governor's side. I don't understand what the problem is, or if I don't get what his plan is. But if you should look at Amechi, how a lot of people have forgotten that Amechi did some great work in River State, but those were kind of overtaken or overridden because of his fight. His fight was what took the center stage. All the resources he channeled towards the fight against President Jonathan, and so nobody saw anything good. Even the candidates that we all know that is are good candidates that he has brought, nobody saw any good in them because of his personality or because of the kind of fight he got involved in. So I think my advice to the current governor, will be that you're not going to be there forever. Use all the resources and the opportunity to make a good, lasting impression as you leave. That's what I would just tell him. All these fights are unnecessary. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Obina. Thank you. We
Yeah.
appreciate you. James from the Gambia, let's hear you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, James.
You see, the gentleman who appeared on the screen, I think he's a member of the House of Assembly in River State. He
No,
was
House
saying,
of Reps. House of Reps.
oh, okay, good.
Not
He
State
was saying,
Assembly, House
okay,
of Reps.
all right, sir. He was saying that they use their money to sponsor what's it called, Governor Wike, while he was fighting Rotimi Amici or something like that. Now, if you team up to fight somebody with the hope of attaining political power, don't forget that the same thing will also happen to you. Instead of these people to develop the country, to make Nigeria an enviable republic, they are busy fighting each other, ganging up behind the scene. The hospitals are not functioning. The schools are terribly bad. They cannot supply water to people to drink. Electricity is hopeless. The country is upside down. They are busy fighting each other. So if if Wike is fighting him back, why is he complaining? Because he teamed up with him to fight Governor Rotimi of River State. So that is his cup of tea. He should not come here to seek public sympathy for what he has done to other people. Now it is happening to you. You want people to sympathize with you. I don't mean to be rude. I would have used very foul language, but this is not the avenue to use those kind of language. Now, the sad thing is this. The country is sliding into a civil war. I remember the case of Liberia in the year 1822, when the country was formed by the American Colonization Society. A lot of hopelessness prevailed in that country from 1822 to 1980, when Samuel Doe took over the government, a period of about 158 years. But when Doe took over the government, the outcome was catastrophic. For the next 25 years, Liberia was upside down. We were able to get over our civil war situation, try to forge a nation out of the country. But since this man called Buhari took over government, we cannot really understand him. Because all the things he promised anyway, that is his cup of tea. I really don't blame him much, because here in the Gambia where I live, we have a saying. The natives here have a saying that it is the weed that grows on the footpath that invite people to trample on it. This man called Buhari hasn't even got a West African school certificate. We Nigerians allowed him to become head of state. All his life, he has been oiling artillery, shooting guns, going to military schools. He is trained to destroy, not to build. So this is the outcome. Whatever meal is dishing us, We deserve it as a people. So it is up to us to make up our minds. But left to me, actually, there is no need for the next election coming up in 2023 because the country is in a very terrible or funny state. This is a kind of election that can plunge the country into a full-scale war. Now, as Mr. Eagle stated at the beginning of this program, the rigging process is already in motion. Now, they brought out the voter registers surreptitiously. Anyway, we shall talk about that later, as you were telling the other gentleman. Thank you so much for giving me time to add my little opinions.
All right, thank you. Paul Iwunze, also joining us from the US. Paul, let's hear you.
Good evening, sirs.
Evening, Paul.
Yeah, Mr. Victor, I'll be brief today.
Very good.
PDP and Wike. I think at this point, Wike cannot be bought over again, or they cannot console him. PDP cannot make peace where peace cannot be achieved, because I don't think they can achieve peace with Wike anymore. So I think I said last time that PDP, they need restructuring more than they need reconciliation with Wike. So I will advise PDP to forget about 2023. Go back and restructure their party if they want to be relevant again in Nigeria politics. They should go back and restructure the party. Bring in new people, new faces that Nigerians can, begin to trust again, and have, make PDP relevant again. So they should forget 2023. That's my advice for them. And if I may chip in at our main topic, because I don't think I will be here, if you will allow me.
Okay,
I think
go ahead, since you will not be around. Just take advantage of it.
Yeah, I think it's an insult to Nigerians for anybody, being you governor or anybody, to come out and say if they cannot reconcile PDP with anything or anybody, that they will say there are people who to vote for. I think it's an insult, because Nigerians, we have brilliant people. So you cannot order Nigerians around on who to vote for. So Nigerians will make that decision.
Yan Didi, where are you joining us from?
From Nigeria.
Which part of Nigeria? Abuja, okay. Thank you. Go ahead, Ndidi.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity to be part of the program. My contribution has to do with the situation in Rivers State. I'm actually surprised that Nigerians are just starting to see the real Wike. And like the Honorable said, he's someone that supported Wike before he became the governor. And I'm sure he knows Wike very well. But sometimes when we have interest or we have interest that we hope for in the future, we tend to turn blind eyes to things even when they are so obvious. The tendencies that we are seeing right now, this is actually who Wike is. And all of this brouhaha that you're seeing happening in Rivers State right now is just because some of the elders from the state decided to say, okay, we are not going to let Wike run the party down. Wike is the kind of person that if he doesn't get what he wants, he's ready to pull the existing structure down. And that's exactly what he's doing right now. I know the last time you interviewed one of the former senator, he said exactly the same thing. That has been the fear in their mind this whole time. That Wike told them that if he doesn't get the ticket, he's going to pull everything down, everybody will go home. And that's exactly what he's doing right now. So I'm even surprised that the PDP, they are still trying to reconcile with Wike. It means they really don't understand the character that they are dealing with here. Even if Wike pretends to reconcile with the PDP today, he's still going to go behind the PDP and work for any other party of his choice, which is starting to become obvious to everybody that he's working with Tinubu, whether the APC likes it or not. Wike, whether the PDP likes it or not, Wike will never work for Atiku. Wike is not the kind of person that when you have a problem like this with him, you think, oh, we have settled. No, he doesn't forgive. Just imagine how vindictive he's been with those elders and the House of Rep member just because they met with Atiku. Meanwhile, the same person, they are still trying to reconcile him with the PDP. Where is the sign of good faith? Wike is not a good sport. He's not a good sportsman. That's the truth. And in short, Nigerians, the best thing that has happened to Nigeria and the history of this country is that Wike did not get the PDP ticket. What would have happened in this country? Nigerians would not have believed it. It would have been an extension of what is going on right now in Rivers State. Wike is a dictator. You cannot have any opinion contrary to Wike's opinion. If you do that, he will fight you. So you can imagine having that kind of character at the helm of affairs in a country like Nigeria. So, like, I'm sure people like the PDP National Chairman, Iyocha Ayu, he knew what he was talking about when he said Tambuwal was the hero of that convention. So you can't have an unstable character. Wike is not the only person that contested for the presidential election and lost. So why does he want to bring the PDP and bring Nigeria to a standstill just because he did not get the ticket? There are other people in the PDP who contested, they lost, the same thing in the APC. But why is Wike's case different? This is an unstable character. That is why sometimes I wonder when I hear some Nigerians say, oh, they support Wike, oh, they like Wike. I'm like, what is your yardstick of a leader? Is this the kind of person that you can present in the community of nations to say this is our president? Someone who cannot even make a complete sentence. He's talking, he says one or two words, and then he leaves the rest for the crowd to complete it for him. How have we descended this low in this country? We have descended so low. This is a country where we have brilliant minds. We have brilliant minds in every part of the country, anywhere you go to. And I'm amazed when I hear people say, oh, we wanted Wike to get the ticket. And it's even more embarrassing and humiliating when you hear people that you even respected in the past. You see people like Donald Duke going around with Wike saying, oh, they support him to be president. I'm like, really? Is this someone you can point to and say, oh, that's my president? I mean, these policies of a thing is just so unfortunate that people, their conscience, I don't know what they do with their conscience when they come out to support a candidate just because of their personal interest. It is a very sad situation, really. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. What do you have to say as you round up your own thoughts based on the reactions you've heard?
Well, first, let me make a clarification. I'm not a returning officer. I was agent, not a returning officer. That is one.
Okay.
Two.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes, an agent. One other caller did say that we conspire. Politics, you must support somebody. When I say we supported, we use the adjective fought in terms of contesting. It's not actually a physical thing. You must get that. So somebody running an election, you must support him. No matter who is running an election, Obio, Atiku, Tinubu, Shewario, and the whatnot, somebody must support him. In the case of Wike, in 2015 election, starting from 2011, we used our personal resources to support him. That's the point we are making. You understand? After that support, it doesn't mean that if we was contesting against Amechi or Amechi's candidate that we undid Amechi, but we supported him.
Yes, sir. Some people like some our brother, I think, will be calling from United States. I don't know why the man hated Wike so much. Maybe it's one of those who inciting terrorism in Rivers State. They could not have their way, because I believe that since 20. I'm sorry to use the word. I'm sorry.
Hold on. It wouldn't be fair. It's just his opinion. Allow him to his opinion. Even if you think you want to differ, don't use a comparison that will also not augur well for us as a family on this platform, okay?
Okay, I'm sorry, sir, to use.
I will
I'm
appreciate
sorry.
that. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry for that. But what I want to say is that it pains me so much when some people see a great leader. Swinke is a leader. It's not just a governor. It pains me when some people. There is nobody, a Nigerian politician, who receive award who deserve that award. Go and check it. Anybody who they give a politician in Nigeria, they give award, is a useless person. Is a useless politician. Go and check it. From they say Buhari is the best president. Let us say the truth. Then give Hope Uzodinma the best governor in Nigeria. Go and check it. Other people they are giving award. Go and check what is happening. If those people they really deserve those awards. And there is my sister that make a comment that Wike does not deserve it. See, unless the only person who will say that Wike does not deserve to be a Nigeria president is those who are supporting terrorism, because they know that if Wike become a president of Nigeria, terrorism will stop, rule of law will work. How many of them can be proud of doing and this kind of stage? Nigeria, everybody is crying. The man is to make sure that he protects his people. That is the most priority of the government, to protect the life or property of your people first. And the man have done that and still doing project up to today. None of them can be proud of doing that. Going to what Buhari and also they are doing. Those they are doing, the Buhari and his anti-Nigeria citizens, they are doing. They are trying to steal the ones they can steal, because they know that by special grace of God, 2023 they are not coming back. Yes, I'm a full supporter of Obi. Yes, I believe that by God's grace he will win. But I cannot, because I'm a full supporter of Obi and I know that Wike is the leader, and I know that since 1999 to date, I did not see any governor have performed what Wike have performed. If anybody want to bet it, I can bet it definitely, because our country they hate to speak the truth. And Wike is a man that whatever you seek, whatever is what you get. You hate me, he hate you too. Let us face the reality. And everybody in Nigeria, if you have a friend like Wike, you'll be proud that you have somebody, because he's a man that if he's angry with you, you will definitely know. Not those who are going to be angry with you, they will want to be like they are happy with you, and they will poison you. So people should know who is leader. Wike is a man that things is happening, he will lead. He does not stay in the back. Wike is not a sweet talker, but he's a talk and do. He believes what he said. He will not even go to Wikipedia to go and confirm what they have done. You will see it and you touch and you confirm that he's doing it. And Wike is the man who speaks his heart, and that is the most important thing people does not like about him. I love men who are leaders. Wike is not a governor. I call him a leader anytime, any day. He's a leader. That is what he is. He's a man who can, when he stand with you, you know that somebody is standing with you. He will never betray you. When he said that, when he bring out his mind, it's not like others. Not because he cannot speak a sweet talk or speak the way smooth talk, the way people may love him. No, he will tell you the reality, and everybody know truth always win. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. I would like to quickly respond to the gentleman that called from Indonesia, who was applauding Wike for his performance and all of that. I would like to ask him a question. One, if he's from River State. If he's not from River State and he's all the way in Indonesia, then he does not have the locus to assess Wike's performance. I think the people who are in the best place to assess Wike's performance will be Rivers people, who are crying of the unemployment rate in the states right now. Wike's achievement is the number of flyovers that he has built in the state. What economic value does those flyovers? How do they affect the lives of the common man? Are they providing jobs? Are they providing employment? How many industries has Wike built in River State to employ the youth in River State? How many jobs has Wike created for the past 7 years and counting that he became the governor of River State? What has Wike done that warrants him to be called a leader? I mean, like I said earlier, Nigerians, sometimes you just begin to wonder that we deserve the kind of leaders that we have. And if that gentleman says he would love, I think he should come to Nigeria, and not just come to Nigeria, go to River State, try to have an opinion that doesn't align with Wike's opinion, and then he cannot come back, call into this program, and then we'll know if he will say the kind of things that he said now, and he will still have the same opinion about Wike. So concerning the refinery situation and the money that is being spent on fuel subsidy, I think it just goes to tell the kind of leadership that we have in the country right now. We have refineries that are not working, and so much has been put into fixing those refineries, but there's no results. We are not seeing any results. Meanwhile, we are still spending so much money on fuel subsidy.
All right.
It's a terrible situation. And I just hope the 2023 elections, that INEC will do what they are supposed to do. The security agencies will do what they are supposed to do, so that Nigerians can actually cast their vote for the candidates that they hope to bring the change that they desire. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. Honorable Chinyere Igwe, can we have you now, Honorable? Yeah, wrap up.
Victor, thank you very much for the opportunity to be part of this program. I want to appreciate all the guests and the contributors. Let me completely align myself with the last speaker and what she said about River State and Wike. You see, there's an adage in my place that says that if you don't go to the chimpanzee's house, you won't know that it's smelling. Come to River State. We are the issue this evening is not about Wike's achievement in River State. That is issue for another day. But the issue this night is Wike dictatorship in River State. To that extent, I will say that, even the most benevolent dictatorship is not acceptable in any way. But that is what we have in River State. And by the grace of God, joining well-meaning Nigerian citizens, we shall fight, continue to ensure that we obtain, we practice, we swallow, we eat democracy. So I thank everybody, believing that some other time I will be part of this program to contribute on other socio-economic issues that affect this nation and River State in particular. Thank you and have a lovely night.